Hi everyone, welcome. I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. We're just going to do a collective read today. No astrology. I just laid out some cards. We got a past, present, future, and a foundation. From the first light tarot, we've got the lovers, power, and diversity, and the foundation, soul identity. So, since this is a collective read, this is just going to be like the overall energy that we're trudging through at the moment. So, with the first card, you got the lovers, which is something that's a choice, but it's a love choice. It's matters of the heart. Okay, choices and matters of the heart and physical love. On top of that, you drop justice. You drop justice twice in this reading, and then you got judgment. So, there is a lot of decisive energy going on here. There's a lot of considering and reconsidering. There's, I mean, I heard debating. I heard there's a lot of debating going on, and that's par for the course for us being so close to an election right now and such a decisive one. This is what's going through the collective at the moment. There's a lot of decisiveness going on now. So you got the lovers. It's something of the heart and justice. But on top of that, you got the Ace of Swords. So there's going to be some kind of clarity coming through. There's going to be some kind of inspiration, some kind of unexpected solution to an old problem. This card from the Tarot of the Divine is called Gordian's Knot. And I forget who the, darn it. I forget who the hero was, but he showed up in this city where the previous king had come in on an ox cart, right? And he came from nothing and he became king. And that king became that city's most loved leader. And so they made a decision that the next king would have to be able to earn that right. And the way they earned that was that they took the ox cart that the previous king had used and they tied it with an unbreakable knot. They tied it up. So this person comes in and looks at the knot and he's trying to figure out how to undo this knot so that he can become king. And instead of untying it, he drew his sword and he cut it. And it's like the people were like, well, I never thought of that. We just cut it off, right? So this was something that was not um, conventional. It was not a conventional solution, but it was effective and it was inspired. And it was just a moment of clarity where he was like, well, if I'm not going to untie it, then I just got to cut it off. And I think, and with that, right next to the Justice card on the Lovers, I mean, nothing is reversed here except you got the star in reverse um, on top of this other card. So nothing else here is in reverse. So I don't feel like this is a heartbreak. I mean, we did deal with heartbreak in the last reading, but that was an Aries reading. We had a lot of swords in that reading. This one, this feels like just decisive action, decisive um like calling judgment on things, okay? Especially here with the lovers, this has to do with relationships. Now, Libra and Aries are in the South Node, North Node dance right now. South Node being in Libra, where we're coming from. Now, a lot of us in the collective may be feeling that we have just come out of, and I think this might have to do with Pluto. Pluto's cycle is 16 years. So I know that in the astrology circles, they've been talking about going back and looking at what has been going on in your lives in the last 16 years. And a lot of people in the collective will recognize that they've ended something recently within the past few years that had become wholly toxic. Okay? So this feels like the recovery from that, or the beginnings of the recovery from that, because now Pluto has gone into Capricorn, or it's been in Capricorn for a while. It's going to drag ass through Capricorn, and that's our sector of finances, reputation, career, money, and managing that, right? It's also the sign of law and structure and order and the traditional way of doing things. So Pluto's dragging through that, and I'm sure that I'm not alone in saying we're feeling it. We're definitely feeling it. So in the collective, I believe, well, on the foundation here, so I figure this is like past, present, future. So in the past, this was a decision about a love situation, but nothing here is reversed. So I don't feel this was painful. This may have been an internal decision about what you want in love. But we will get more clarification. The next card here with the I believe would be in the present position. You've got the power card from the First Light Tarot. It says, know your power and your place, but power is in a whisper. This also has something about solitude here. So it may be finding your own personal power. We've got the Seven of Pentacles on top of it, which is just investing in things that are slowly growing. And then we've got the Knight of Swords on top of that, which is an intellectual person who's assertive, direct, daring, accomplished, and efficient. Excuse me. Um, so this feels like a lot in the collective is just being internal debate, internal assessment. Because here in the future, you've got a card called diversity. And this to me definitely has temperance energy on it because it's called integration, again with solitude. Huh. It says surprising combinations, and it's harmonizing the contrary, which and also says blending. So, like I said, it reminds me of temperance, which is alchemical. It's mixing different things in order to get a good combination for healing, basically. But this says this is like internal, and plus on top of that, you got the star reversed and judgment upright. So with this diversity, it says it's calling for solitude. Power here, the power card also has solitude on it. So if this isn't people just spending time by themselves, this is definitely spending time within yourself. Just trying to figure out what you want, what's the best for you, what's a good combination here. On diversity, which is that integration of things that it says integrating the contrary, integrating things that are contrary. So it's like, yeah, seeing something and combining it with something else that you probably maybe overlooked last time or you didn't think would work together. Maybe this is people. Maybe you're considering a lover that doesn't necessarily match you very well on paper, right? On paper. The foundational card here is called Soul Identity. This is compassionate and patient, service to others, love, tolerance, forgiveness, high intelligence, and family. This is you finding a soul tribe. But more importantly, before you find that tribe, you have to decide who you are. Okay? On top of that, you drop the King of Cups and then Justice again. And Justice came out together with the Eight of Wands. Now, this time the Eight of Wands is upright. I believe in the last reading it was reversed. And this time it's upright, which is quick, decisive actions to turn the tide. And then next to it is judgment or justice, which is impartiality, careful reviewing, and verdicts here. On top of soul identity, service to others, compassionate, patient. I feel like we're being called to do that for ourselves. We're being called to be compassionate and patient, tolerant with ourselves as we go through this judgment and justice of deciding what we let in, because that's the Lover's card. That's a choice, what we let into our hearts. Now, King of Cups here is Pisces energy. He's the king that has come so far in his emotional maturity that he now rules his emotions, not he's not in service to them, which is very interesting because it falls on the card calling to be of service to others. um, King of Cups is actually Saturn in Pisces energy. And when I looked at what's going on in the sky right now, wouldn't you know it, Saturn is dragging his big, heavy ass retrograde through Pisces right now. He will be in Pisces for the next 6 to 7 months. I think he goes into Aries in May. So, I mean, this is incredible that it's playing out with the current energies that are working. I wasn't going to spend too much time, um, you know, dissecting the outer planets because they are so slow and it's a generational influence. So I omitted Saturn and the other heavy movers from the reading the other day. I just by chance came across knowing it because I wanted to look up the King of Cups. And I'm like, well, this is Saturn in Pisces. What's Saturn doing right now? Oh, lo and behold, Saturn's in Pisces right now. So, this soul identity, again, I feel like this is inner work. Deciding, and I actually can understand how this might be playing out in the collective, in society wide right now. Deciding who is your soul family, who has like minded ideals, who has the best interests of you and those you love in mind. And to do that, sometimes you have to make very difficult head over heart decisions, and that's what the King of Cups rules, head over heart um, behavior and conduct. Okay, it's not that the King of Cups doesn't love deeply. That is the absolute pinnacle. The King and the Queen of Cups is the absolute pinnacle of loving. Okay, the Queen is very open and nurturing. She's almost intuitive about how to take care of other people. She's open with her heart and her affections. The King is not. He's not demonstrative about it. That's where the Saturn plays in. Saturn is very restrictive. But it doesn't mean that the emotions aren't there. It's the difference between, like, if you think of a beer stein has a lid. And when you go to drink it and partake in the cup, the lid is open. That's the Queen of Cups. Her cup is open. But when it's set down, it's closed. That's the King of Cups. It's not that it's not full. It's not that it's not nourishing. It's not that it's not absolutely just as wonderfully tasting as the Queen. It's just it's protected at the moment because he's not actively offering it to anyone. Okay, those emotions are deeply there, but they're just I wouldn't say stagnant. I wouldn't even say closed off. I don't even know if it's protective. I think it's just a condition of the sign where it's like, I'm not going to lead with that. Okay, that's going to inform me, but it's not going to guide me. I always used to say, let your heart lead the way, but let your brain steer the car, right? Let your heart be the navigator. Don't let him steer. Um, so here, that's in the foundation. You've got Justice and the Eight of Wands. That's clear, decisive action. Okay, Eight of Wands. This story is called the Rainbow Crow. I forget what nation this is from. This Native American myth. Crow, the bird, used to be brightly colored like a rainbow, but one year, it was it was detrimentally cold and on the earth, and Crow went up to the sun and asked if, can you can you do anything about this? They're freezing. My animal friends are freezing to death. The world is freezing. What can you do? And so the sun, or like the entity that was in charge of the sun, gave him a stick with some fire from the sun on it and said, bring this back to your people. Well, it took him 3 days to fly back, and on the way, the cinders from the stick burning blackened him. So this again is the idea of self-sacrifice. This Eight of Wands. It's like a Hail Mary, right? It's like a hail, like in football, the quarterback throws super hard and just prays that it gets there, and right when he releases his hand, he gets sacked. So it's like a self-sacrificing play. He came back to Earth with a stick of the sun's fire so that it could melt um, the snow that was on the world. I would love to think that this was a remnant of when the Ice Age was happening in North America, and how when the snow finally started melting, that's when they came up with the story that it was Crow that brought back some piece of the sun. And you think about the visual of a piece of the sun flying into the Earth's atmosphere. That sounds like a comet to me. And interestingly enough, we do have a comet going through the solar system right now. I won't even begin to try to pronounce its name because the discoverer, I believe, was Japanese, and so it has a Japanese name. But it just came through Libra. It was at its closest point to the Earth while it was in Libra. It's a unicorn comet, which means it's got a tail coming out the head that points towards the sun, and it's got the regular tail that points away. So this is amazing to think that this comet is coming through the solar system right now. It's an 80,000 year comet, which means the last time it was in our horizons, in our skies, people were just beginning to come online as human beings, right? And look at this picture of the rainbow crow coming in with that fireball, and it's singeing him along the way, and that's why crows now supposedly are black, but if you look at their feathers, they're just dark iridescent rainbow colored feathers. So this feels like I feel like somebody is saying, I gave so much. I gave enough. I gave too much. Now I'm singed. Now I'm in King of Cups. Saturn in Pisces is like kind of closing off those emotions. Next to the Justice card, that's impartially um, deciding. This is the verdict. The verdict is, I heard I gotta help myself. But also, there's some in the collective that their verdict, I just got a ringing in my ear. That's why I'm switching up. They told me it was wrong. The verdict is I'm going to give to others, but I hate to say it like that. I heard, so, okay, so there's several things coming in. That's why I'm stuttering over this. There are several things coming in for this foundation here. I heard I gave so much that I burned myself. My judgment call is I have to pull back on what I emotionally give to other people. And it's not being a dick about it. It's not being a bitch about it, because the soul identity card is calling for compassion, love, tolerance, and forgiveness. So it's like I forgive them for what I put up with. I forgive them for using me for, I gave generously of myself, and I believe that they were maybe used, and now they're coming to a little more cold approach about it. What else? Now, some in the collective might be thinking, I didn't give much of myself, and that's why this not two of, that's why this lover card with justice here. Like, I didn't give much of myself, and maybe that's why I haven't had very um, satisfying relationships. So I'm going to give a little bit more of myself, but I'm not. See, again, with that emotional attachment, there's no emotional attachment here. There's like a feeling of, I don't want to say it's obligation, because that's more devil energy. I think we're going to get more on that as we go. Let's talk about power here. Know your power and your place. So nobody is omnipotent, okay? Nobody is so safe in their power that they can't be dethroned. So it's know your power and your place, and there's power in a whisper. We're definitely seeing that in the election cycle now, especially with all the mudslinging going on. And that's to be expected because we're like 2 weeks away. But sometimes the most powerful things you say quietly. They just showed me Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones telling Joffrey, anyone who has to say, I am the king, is no true king. So here in the power struggle, it was like maybe somebody was speaking more um hmm that it's not it didn't come out in reverse, so it's not like there was a misuse of power. There may be just a regaining of your power, because like I said, over here with the lovers there was just justice on the lovers, and this ace of swords meaning there was an unexpected solution to an old problem. Okay, what else does it say here? This is vision inspired action. Okay, and cleverness. Justice is also a lower vibration of karma. It represents Libra. What's going on in Libra right now? Well, the Libra's in that North Node, South Node dynamic with Aries, which means we're bringing in energy that we were putting into relationships and we're pulling it back into ourselves for healing this time. What else is going on in Libra? Lilith is in Libra right now. Lilith is the empowered feminine empowerment. Nothing else? The sun just left Libra, but in sidereal astrology, the sun still is in Libra for a little bit. So that's why whenever there's a switchover, I still read for both signs because the sun is influencing two at a time sometimes. But justice is Libra, and sometimes Libras are described as being very cold. But it's because to make good judgment calls, things have to be unbiased, okay? But we still do consider everybody else first, right? So it takes us a long time to make decisions. Now, we got justice twice. So this decision making might not be very quick, all right? Sometimes it takes Libras decades to make a decision. Sometimes it just takes a few moments. The thing that I have to warn though, is that when you take too long to make a decision, Virgo, I'm talking to you too, because you tend to get stuck in that analysis paralysis, Eight of Swords, just like we do. You're an honorary air sign. Um, the thing about taking so long to make a decision on things because you're considering every single detail is that what you're trying to work out is just a snapshot of the energy at the moment. And as the days go by, the hours go by, the days go by, the weeks go by, your life goes by, all those details will change. But we are only like mulling over the details that we knew at the moment. So by the time you do come to a decision, sometimes so much time has passed that a lot of those intricate pieces of the situation are changed. Okay? Um, People's free will changes. The different circumstances will evolve. And if you're still stuck in decision making mode, then by the time you're ready to make the decision, everything is different. And now you like, well, two things happen. We either go back into decision making mode, back into the Eight of Swords, or we make our final decision and it fucks us up anyways because the situation is not even close to what it was when we started deciding. Okay? Now, again, with the mixing of the different ingredients, that idea. This is the talking about like mentally with Libra being the justice card. In diversity, it's saying to integrate things that you maybe were thought would be contrary. Okay, so and again with that Ace of Swords, this is Gordian's knot. It's an inspired solution to an old problem. Okay, using cleverness. So there may be an opportunity to combine two things or maybe two people that don't necessarily look like they would be a good match, but there's something about it that it could be, right? Here we've got on power, know your power and your place, and power in a whisper. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is again like there's not much to do but wait. It's a waiting card. But then right next to it, you've got the Knight of Swords, which is the most impulsive knight in the deck. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest because he's meticulous and methodical. Then you've got the Knight of Cups, I believe. He's the next fastest. Then the Knight of Wands, and then the Knight of Swords, who comes in like a comet, if you will. So it's going towards the right. So I feel like this is heading in towards the future, heading towards this mixing of these two things that usually wouldn't. But then, like I said, you've got the star reversed, and the star, to me, the star card is your direction. Why? Because we used to base our traveling on the North Star, and then we'd orientate ourselves from that or from something else that was noticeable. Okay, like some maybe if you couldn't see the North Star from a different part of the world, you would pick a different constellation. I think like in the Pacific they can see Scorpio really well, so they use Scorpio as a guide. But whatever this is, it's in our minds where we want to go. It's it's where our soul wants to make home. So it's our wishes, and it's our dreams and where we want to be. This is in reverse, which feels to me that something has made you feel directionless or rudderless. Rudderless, you meaning you're just adrift. Okay, the reason I'm using a lot of sailing symbolism with this is because for a while I was getting a lot of cards with stars on them, but the people were in boats and they were gazing at the star, or they had their sextant and they were plotting their course towards the star. So it doesn't escape me that the star in general is the North Star, where you want to point your hopes and dreams. Now, this is reversed. So, this feels like this is directionless. This is hopeless, rudderless. Maybe it feels like it's not like a dark night of the soul, but it's like kind of off, you're off the path a little bit. You got knocked off of where you wanted to go and you feel kind of lost. They're showing me in a Bug's Life movie where the ants were walking all in one line and then a leaf fell in their way, and all of a sudden the one starts freaking out because he can't sense the scent trail anymore because there's something impeding the scent trail. And that's what they follow in the line. So when the leaf fell on it, he was like, I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost. And he started to despair. And it was funny because all you had to do was step over the leaf, right? So it feels like somebody has been knocked so off course that they feel like, I heard everything I did up until now, it doesn't go anywhere, right? So next to that, you've got judgment in upright. This is, I believe this story is the Monkey King. Not quite comparable to Hanuman. It's the same idea, but it's different cultures. But the Monkey King was resourceful. He had superpowers. He could get anything done. Um, this says experimentation. It says reconsidering things, reassessment, self evaluation, and then final decisions. The thing with the judgment card is, like I said, it gives me Pluto energy. It in the Rider-Waite, the judgment card is, I believe it's Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet at the rapture, which is when it's at the end of all things and the dead are called up from the grave to be called to account. This is underworld, like realm of the dead kind of energy. This is Pluto energy. Pluto is an aspect of death, but he's not the reaper. He's not Saturn. He's not the harvester of the dead thing. Pluto, representing Hades, is the place where the dead go once they've been culled. And it's in that energy of being in the underworld where things go into review. Your soul is weighed, or in Egyptian mythology, your heart is weighed against the feather of truth. Okay? You're sent to review your life. It's like reviewing when you're in school. Um, so I feel like something can be reassessed. Well, that makes sense because being next to the star in reverse, you're feeling rudderless. So it's like you're kind of settling down, going, what do I need to change? What can I use from before? Um, like I said, with the resurrection in the judgment card, things that were dead were being called back up to see if they are gonna reincarnate, like be animated, or if they were going to be released to the divine. So this is like what's going on here with this diversity. Harmonizing things that seem contrary. We've got the judgment card. How can I rework this? Is there anything that I thought was dead that can be useful still? Um, Especially within the self, because like I said, this says self-evaluation also and final decisions. And it's like people are saying I need to rethink everything because star reversed, I feel directionless right now. And diversity is saying, well, I mean, try to mix things that you didn't think of before. Okay. So let's review. We've got a choice here with the lovers. This could be something in the collective about a relationship, how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to others, how we express to people that we love, and who we choose to be our lovers. There's justice here, which is impartial decisions, like a careful review and a verdict. And then we've got the Ace of Swords, Gordian's Knot, which is unexpected solution to an old problem, but it's through inspiration and cleverness. Okay, so somebody is going to, I heard, pick one that is different. Okay, maybe some in the collective are looking at options, okay? Options for a relationship. And there's a couple that kind of go along with your style, your taste, what you're attracted to. But then there's one or two that are just outside of the consideration. It's like, well, that won't work. That won't work. That I don't like that. I don't like his hair. I don't like this. I don't whatever. He's too short, he's too tall, she's got too many kids, or he's got too many kids, whatever this is. But there's going to be a solution here, and I believe it's going to be in reevaluating what we see as valuable in that relationship. I hear some people thinking, well, all I did was go for tall guys and they all mistreated me. This time I'm going to choose somebody who's short. That is extremely elementary. I mean, that's like just an example, just a small example just to get the point across, okay? And the foundation for that is that somebody felt, some of us feel like maybe we were taken advantage of. Some in the collective made a cold decision about how they act, like this, like I said, with this quick action, Eight of Wands. Now, then again, now they're saying that some in the collective are going to hear a message from a King of Cups about soul family. I heard, hang on. There's a lot of reevaluation here. Like I said, you've got justice twice and judgment. Oh, we've also got the seer. I wonder what she's going to say. Power, taking back your power, but not being a dick about it, right? I heard while this is cooking, I'm going to go scout something else. Well, I don't like that. But this is financial because the Seven of Pentacles is money, and the Knight of Swords is like shoo, action, like quick. But it's swords, so it's mental, it's intellectual. This person or several in the collective are really allowing themselves to daydream about something new, something different. Direct, daring, accomplished, and efficient. So I feel like, yeah, once you decide, it's like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Lover's Justice, and the Ace of Swords. So I'm trying to contemplate how I can describe the difference between justice and judgment, right? So what I'm feeling here is justice is very cold because it will deal its karma accordingly, whether it's compassionate or not. All right? A judge has to be unbiased. The judgment, the final decision, is different from the process of getting there. And I believe that justice energy is the process of getting to a decision. Okay? It's the weighing of the two sides. Justice on the lovers, and then if we're going to read it just by quick feeling, okay? There was see, I'm going to say it again. There was a judgment call, but it took a while because there was a lot of debating. Now, this is within. Now, I don't think this is with the other person, the partner in the relationship. This is debating, internal debate on this possible union, okay? Or this union that was established. And the Gordian's knot solution was, I'm just going to cut it off. I'm out. I'm out. Right? Others in the collective, maybe you have an opportunity to make a decision to be in a new relationship, in a new, this lover's union choice is new. And in order to get to it, you need to cut something off. Okay? Now remember with the story that I told, he cut the knot away so that he could come into power. All right. So be careful that, first of all, they told me, be careful that this isn't a power play. Okay. But then they also said some people will have to cut something off so that they can reach their full power. And that's going to be the justice for this lovers' union. I'm reminded that with power here, not to misuse yours, but to accept and come into your personal power. You have the power to make decisions. You have the power to lead yourself. And I have to say yourself because when you start trying to lead other people, it could infringe on free will. Everybody's going to be led by something different. You might be feeling a little directionless, so you're looking for something else to lead you, right? The directionless here with the star in reverse. You don't have a destination as yet, but this judgment card is saying that you're making a final decision, uh, self evaluation here on what you can combine in order to find your direction again. Soul identity, again, it has to do with soul family. Some people might be feeling like the people I surrounded myself with up until this point, not in my best interest. I burned here, like, with the crow and the Eight of Wands. I'm burned. I came in with action every single time that they needed me, and I got burned. So now the justice, the deliberation here is that I'm going to go into my King of Cups era, which means I will provide for who I think is worthy, and that includes my emotional um, gifts or whatever, because it has soul identity, and then here it says family. So without getting too fast and furious on you guys, there is family that you choose, and there is family that you're born into, and the family that you're born into isn't always supportive, isn't always the best people, but they love to use the phrase blood is thicker than water. Okay. And when they use that, they're actually misquoting that Bible verse. It is not blood is thicker than water, so that you owe your allegiance to your blood family. The quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So you are actually only beholden to your creator. Between you and your creator, you are not beholden to the demands, expectations, or traditions of the family that you came through. That's just plainly the words in the book. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So in that instance, they were saying whatever loyalty you pled, you only need to be loyal to yourself, because when you are in touch, in communication with your pure higher self, and you are functioning along the path that you're supposed to be on, the only lead you need is knowing where you want to go, because it's hard to explain. I have the vision in my head. The star that we're aiming towards is our divine purpose, and the only one who can decide your divine purpose, that's between you and your creator. I don't care what religion. I am not Christian. I was raised Catholic, but I am fully pagan for 35 years now. Okay, I am not religious. I've read different scriptures, and I know the symbolism that's behind the ideas, okay? And the idea is you are true to your higher, you are true to your purpose first, okay? Whether that disappoints the blood that you come from is not your concern. Well, it's a concern, it's a choice. It's a choice, and the Lover's card says that. It's a choice. Where does your heart belong? Where does your heart belong? It belongs with your soul identity. It belongs with your soul family. And yes, it may feel like if you change courses, it's going to be a lonely road. And that's the fear, I think, here of this star reverse. It feels like you're directionless. It feels like there's no leadership. It feels like everything that you had set your sights on in order to go in the direction you want to go to, now all the lights are out and you feel kind of alone in the dark, right? But it's in the dark, and this is going to trigger some people. It's in the dark when we can hear ourselves, all right? And when you hear yourself, the true self, that is the divine speaking to you. Okay? So I don't know why they had me go on that long rant. I feel like I went all around and back again. But they're trying to say that the soul family you are looking for, that you might have to let go of, it's going to be replaced along the way. But you have to close the door and walk through a dark hallway in order to get to the room where all your loved ones are. Do you know what I mean? It's like, visualize that you're coming back from a snack. You're coming back from getting a snack, and the hallway light is off and it looks really dark and really scary, and you have to bolt, you have to haul ass through that hallway of all this fear and possible ghosts, and what if I trip on something and I don't know where, which way is up when I'm in the dark. But on the other side of that hallway is a room full of the people that you love. So it's like, you know with this star reversed, we're in an area here that has no guiding light yet. So we're just kind of like hauling ass through it. Um so they're saying that some of us need to be a little more closed off with ourselves while we're in this healing mode. And while we're traveling, it says while you're traveling, don't try to house other people while you're in transit. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna break some hearts. I mean, it's because King of Cups, that they do want to provide. They do want to help and heal and listen and counsel. That's that King of Cups. That's the counseling card. He wants to listen. He wants to help. He wants to give good advice. But it might feel like you're being spread too thin with the little energy that you still have to make this journey for yourself. Okay. So I hope this is resonating. I hope the messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you're vibing with my content, please take a moment to leave a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe. Help me get to 100 subscribers, please. Um, it helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email. I'm open for personal readings. So it can be video chat, you and me. It can be by email, or it can be a video like this where I post it to YouTube, but it's a private link that only you would get. I'd email you that link after payment. I can also do one or two question birth chart inquiries. My first discipline is astrology. I just don't do full reports anymore because they turn out to be dozens and dozens of pages. I do everything by hand, and then that gets to be too expensive and time consuming. But I am fully open to do birth chart inquiries. That's just short questions, right? You can look in the description for my Venmo and my Cash App. That's how you would pay for those services. And that's where you would drop any little tip or donation if you got a message from me that resonated with you. So we're going to go ahead with the Oracle, Ancestor Oracle messages. First, we got the Seer. And this says, see beyond the current situation. I love this point of the reading because this is where things start to tie in. This is where you start to really make connections with the cards. Sometimes I wish I got to this point a little faster, but they want me to be long-winded for a reason. There's messages in those long winded explanations. See beyond the current situation. It says, look beyond your current situation, raise your vibration, and focus on love. That's interesting that it fell out right under the lovers. Okay. It says clairvoyance isn't just about predicting the future. It's about being able to see clearly enough to create your best future. You're being encouraged by your ancestral guides and angels to see beyond what you think is happening now. Don't allow your ego to disturb or play. Don't allow your ego or doubts to play games with you. Instead of seeing yourself as stuck or lost, that's that star reversed, know that you are an energetic holding space. You're in an energetic holding space while the universe recalibrates a path that is more favorable for you. That makes total sense with the star reversed. What did I say? You're kind of in this in-between state where it's dark and you have no direction, but you know on the other side of that dark hallway there's a room full of your loved ones, right? So you just gotta have patience. Patience did come out with soul identity. Be patient and tolerant with yourself as you go through this dim evening, I guess you could call it. It's not a dark night of the soul, it's just like a dim hallway of uncertainty. Angels of light are upgrading your energy so your experiences can be more enjoyable. You're moving towards something extremely uplifting and enlightening, so stay calm and keep your eyes on the prize. I love that. We also got a card called the White Witch. We've got an owl here. I don't see any other animals. We've got monkey, the Monkey King, a horse. Nope. Oh, and crow. So, okay. Those are two birds that do. Okay, that's two sides of the same kind of energy, crow and owl. So White Witch calls you to be the light. Oh, that's what it is. See? Okay, let me finish this and then I'll show you how it all works back to itself. It says, take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. No matter what is happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you're surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you're in a negative situation, perhaps in your workplace, you're being invited to be the light. So, how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who is guilty of causing that drama? You will know the answer and know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to shine. So this goes along. I love that this fell out underneath the cards that have the star reversed. Remember, the stars are out. There's no light. I heard No Light, No Light by Florence and the Machine. And remember what I was saying, that the only light you need to follow is the course that was set between you and your creator. It's your higher self. Tap into your needs, your wants, your desires, your ambitions, all those things, and make a decision about what direction you want to go towards. It may be that there's no light in that tunnel because you haven't gotten in it yet. Okay, you're on the other side of it and you're thinking, God, it's so dark. What am I going to do? Not knowing that it doesn't brighten until you get in there. Okay, so as soon as you take the leap, what's this leap? Here with the Knight of Swords, look at the Knight of Swords, taking the leap. Fool energy, even though we didn't get the Fool. I heard 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. So once you make that leap, you're going to find out that the light that you needed to guide you was you the whole time. I know, corny, isn't it? I hate it, but that's what I'm probably going to title the reading. The light that you wanted to follow was you the whole time. I heard it. I heard it because I said it. Like, what the fuck kind of advice is that? I was the light the whole time. That's bullshit. The soul identity, the soul family that you're going to be vibrating with on the other side of this is going to think you are the shit. So why would you wait to get on the other side and then turn your light on? Let them see you coming, right? We're going to get some other oracle messages here from my theme deck. Be kind. I drew these myself and I am not an artist. We've got the belonging you seek is not behind you. It is ahead. This came out for the Aries reading. Look at that. It's like that was the decision on the lovers here. It's like I feel like now there's a group going, I'm going to go for love, but I got to cut myself loose from some limiting beliefs I heard. Remember, the sword is mental energy, so it's thoughts and fears and doubts and anxieties and gossip and how we talk to ourselves, and you know what I mean? Chiron is in Aries right now. Like I said, the North Node South Node dynamic is South Node Libra, which is coming from relationships, North Node Aries, which is putting that energy back into the self, but also in Aries, Chiron is in Aries, and that's a wounding to our self worth. So even though the divine is calling us to heal, there's a whole segment of us that's going, I'm not, I don't even feel worthy of the healing. Okay? The belonging you seek is not behind you, it is ahead. That's the soul family you're going towards. The new group, the new friends, the new love, the new situation, the new goals, the new road. Okay. The Hermit, we've got look inward to the divine within, but don't stay there. What was I talking about? The only light you need is the light of the higher self, which will lead you down the road of your divine purpose, right? This is heavy, you guys. We're dealing with a lot internally in the collective. You've got Grasshopper here, situations in the balance. That's that justice, literally the justice energy in the balance. Situations in the balance require careful handling. This is calling for compassion. Again, just like the soul identity, this is calling for compassion on whatever decisions you're going to be making. Be firm. Be confident in those decisions, but be compassionate also in how they're going to affect people. But don't let that affect the decision. All I'm saying is keep in mind that it's going to change things, it's going to change people, it's going to affect people. Be compassionate to what they may be feeling, but don't not make the decision just because of that, okay? Conflict. The whip came out. Conflict and fighting. This is going to cause a lot of um, yeah, and you're, like I said, be strong in that King of Cups mode. I love you, but this is not what I want. I love you. I care about you. I'll always take care of you, but this is not what I want. Okay? I'm not going to be used. I cannot be in this situation. I cannot give this to you anymore. I do not I'm not making this decision because I hate you. I'm not making this decision because anything malicious. But it's not going to be seen that way anyway. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be conflict, okay? The whip is fighting, arguing, discussing, aggression, insults, and stuff like that. If this is like societal, I'm sure we're already running into that where people are deciding they want to be more compassionate to others. And then, you go to the family dinner and grandpa's talking about the N word and Mexicans. And it's like, I'm going to fight about this and I don't want to be here anymore, Here we've got growth. I like that. Plain and simple growth. They want me to talk more about the Hermit, but I'm going to deal a few more cards and then we'll go back to it. The Hermit is Virgo energy. What's going on in Virgo? I don't see anything in Virgo right now. Oof, there was a that was one drawn by my little niece when she was little. Oof, you got knocked over. You got hit with a rock. Oof. I don't know if that person's dead or just knocked out in that picture. Let's get a few more, please. A few more oracle theme advice for the collective, please. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Okay, storm warning. Spirit is listening. I'm like, that's good. I'm going to get one more. Thank you. All right. We've got 222, keep the faith. Timely and auspicious opportunities are coming. Stand strong in your personal truths. Yo, that's amazing. I love that. I'm going to hold it up just in case I need to screen cap it. Bloom, bloom. 222. Keep the faith. We've also got Spirit is listening. Telephone's ringing. Spirit is listening. I feel like they're showing me an intercom in the dark hallway. Okay? So make sure that in your meditations, you are definitely opening that conduit of communication between you and your higher self, between you and the divine, between you and your ancestors, you and your angels. Talk to everybody. Make sure everybody's on the same page for this journey, right? We've got the storm warning card. This is a tower, but it's a smaller tower than what the other decks. Now, the tower came out yesterday. Whatever the reading before this was for Scorpio, the birthday reading for Scorpio. But this is just a storm warning. This is upheaval and restructuring and cleansing away the old. Not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. All right, I love that. Okay, I actually do like this card. It means that whatever was blocking the way before is being washed away. Okay? We've also got, oh wow, 1111. Energy Gateway. You're connected. A chance will be presented to change. This is for a soul connection, a twin flame, or soulmate. See, that's that lovers in the beginning. The Ace of Swords. I feel like somebody's looking at this new possibility going, I gotta cut everything off of me and just run towards it. The last one we got here is High Priestess energy. This is Pisces. It's the receipts. She's got the receipts. This is a very spiritual. This is also Pisces energy. We've got Pisces here with King of Cups. Star reversed is Aquarius energy. Justice twice. That's Libra. Judgment. Since it's Pluto energy, I could give it to Capricorn. What else do we have? The Lovers is Gemini. King of Swords, that is, or Knight of Swords, that's Libra energy. Again, it could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. For the High Priestess, this is sacred knowledge, knowing the truth, the divine feminine, deep intuition, guardian of the subconscious, spiritual wisdom, and high spiritual abilities. The moon, I believe, is in Cancer right now. So some in the collective might be the Mars is in Cancer now too. So this might be, while the moon is in there just for the next couple days, there might be some like nights of really weird dreams, okay? But with Pisces here with the High Priestess, they listen to it because as weird as they may seem, there may be some insight in there. Again, with the High Priestess, the key for her card is that in the Rider-Waite, she's sitting between two pillars. One is white and one is black. And the key to that symbolism is The inner truth is somewhere in between the black and the white. So we've got some people, in your ear saying this is the truth because, this is what I believe. And then you've got people in your ear saying, no, this is what you should be doing. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb. So listen to your inner self first. That high priestess is like, the truth is somewhere in between. It's somewhere in between what you were expected of and what you want, okay? With the Hermit card, this is the opposite of the High Priestess because Virgo and Pisces are opposites on the wheel of the sky. Now, usually, if something is in opposition, you think of butting heads, you think of pulling apart. I tend to think of it as a balance to the scale, all right? We've got justice here twice. That's heavy Libra energy. That is the scales of karma. So you've got two here that are opposite of each other that are balancing each other. The hermit goes inward to gain a larger perspective. The high priestess goes inward to gain inner perspective. Oh, that's actually for the hanged man also. I would give that to some. I'm going to rethink that, but it stands for the moment. The high priestess is telling us that look in the in between. Okay, look for it's basically, what do they say? Read the fine print, right? The devil's in the details. When you hear somebody speaking, not only do you listen to the words, you listen to their tone of voice, you watch their mannerisms, you watch their eye movements, you watch their body language, and because somebody could be saying something to you, but that's not the truth. You have to look underneath the words. That's why I like that visual of somewhere in between of the black and the white. Okay, that's what I have for everybody. I hope this resonated. I hope you found good messages. Please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a donation. If you want to see what the cards look like from above, so you can maybe follow along with the visual of what I'm talking about, I post a picture of the table on my Instagram right after the link goes live on YouTube, so you can see with the oracle cards at the end what it all looks like. So I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram. Gem314 Tarot on Instagram also. So until I see you in the next couple days, thanks for sticking with me. Okay, thanks, bye.